tiny little studio in Savannah, Georgia. Gosh, that seems strange to say. Good morning, everyone. So I have come on again today. Wow, 2 days in a row. And wanted to just kind of thank you for your wonderful comments and for just showing me some love. And on this rainy day here in Savannah, Georgia, it's been raining for a week. Very different from the Greek island, I would say. Give me a sec. So, first of all, Linda Fernandez, thank you. You are always coming back. You are always being so supportive and loving, and I deeply appreciate it. Thank you. It's important to me, and especially in this period of my life where things are up and down and such a huge change from my typical way of living on the tiny Greek island. It's very comforting to me, and I do need it. So thank you, Linda. I really appreciate that. So Tom 4S. I wish I knew how to actually say your name. I've always just kind of called you Thoma because because that is the Greek name for Tom. If your name is Tom, doesn't matter. But just saying, you had a great talked about something that's really important about that you usually paint in acrylics, and you are thinking about going into oils, but not quite sure. Should you do it? Should you not do it? And my very quick answer is yes, do it. Not because I love oils, because I do. I much prefer oils to acrylics. However, this is what I have understood about working in different mediums. And I'm sure you've probably heard me talk about this before. But when you switch mediums, whether or not you like it, whether or not it works for you, whether or not it intimidates you, like watercolors still intimidate me. The act of doing it is important to your creativity. It's important to who you are as an artist, as a creative being. So if we stay stuck in our comfort zones, right? You've heard me talk about this before. If you stay stuck in your comfort zones, then you never really get the experience of growth that you need when you go back to your comfort zone. So me in my painting history, you know, what all the different things that I've done and worked through, that is the one thing that I found to be extremely helpful to helping me step beyond my own comfort zone. And it's so easy to stay in your comfort zone. So yes, move into oils, do some paintings in oils, get frustrated with the new medium. They're still very similar. They're very similar to work with. So it's not like going to watercolors, which is, you know, has a mind of its own. This is more like a different version of what you already do. And perhaps for me, like I wrote in the comment that I sent you, it has more to do Proud to have learned about no tan and gouaches from you. Oh, thank you, Pixie. Are you Pixie Dust? Pixie D, Pixie? That makes sense to me. Hi, darling. Good to see you. So yes, it's stepping out and beyond what you know is, and just understanding that it's probably not going to work. You're probably going to have a bad painting. It's probably going to make you frustrated and like uncomfortable. And to learn to love that stage. So let's move it. I'll bring it back to my own personal experience, right? So Stewie Arch sends a message and says, glad to see you getting back into it, and getting back into painting. And so I'm thinking, yes, it feels great just to set up in my bedroom, in this little rented place that we're in, and putting together a tiny little studio here in Savannah. And so when you're in your comfort zone, me on my tiny little Greek island with my little studio, now my studio is much smaller than the one I had on the island. Imagine that. Taking what I have and using it for what it's worth right now, today. So I come in here and sit down and put up my paint. Sometimes I don't get back to my painting and the paint dries on the palette. Nothing happens, and I'm thinking and stepping into my creativity as best I can, but I can't always do it because I'm so busy, right? I'm working 2 jobs. We've got this goal, like I've said before, of, this is a push to gather some funds to send back to Greece so that we can build our fishing boat so that we can get back on track. And that's why I'm here. So yeah, I'm working the 2 jobs, and who has time to paint or even to think about creativity? But there it is, right? So do you guys remember a lot of times I talked about when you cannot be in your studio painting, when things are just too crazy and there's so much going on, how can you stay connected to creativity? And this is just one way to do it. Like, I'm having small canvases. I'm not overthinking it. I come in and I sit down, and even if I'm just sitting here, I get that sense of groundedness, of coming back to me, of connecting with my inner artist. And sometimes that's all you can do, and always that's good enough. So getting back into the painting, so I had written a note here. It's about taking baby steps when you're overwhelmed, when there's too much going on, and how do you keep it all together? Baby steps. Just me sitting here doing a morning musings is a baby step, right? And it keeps me connected, and it keeps those coals burning. And as long as I'm feeding those coals in any way possible, even just setting up this little, broken-legged French easel that my dear friend gave me here, and, sending her loads of love, she's an artist as well, that I have an easel to use. And I can get the leg fixed, I will. It'll happen when it happens. But in the meantime, I'll sit down and paint. That's a new thing, like going from acrylics to oils. Sitting down. What's it like to sit down and paint? It's not something that I do. I'm animated. I'm very animated. So when I'm painting, I like to have the freedom to move around. I don't have it. Well, I'll have less freedom. What will I learn from that? It's uncomfortable. It's frustrating. But there's a lesson in there for me, something that I can learn. So that's one thing. And the most important thing about coming back and getting back into it, as Stewie Art says, is practicing what I preach, right? It's practicing. It's practicing coming to the act of creating and stepping away from the outcome of that creation. So it's more important, I'm focusing on just the act of painting, mixing a sky color like you can see there, just mixing the sky color for the second layer. How am I going to do it? And even if I do 5 minutes of painting like I did last night, that feeds those creative coals. It keeps things moving and it keeps things growing. And what more can I do right now? And that is more than enough. Do you guys see that? Have you had that kind of experience as well when you're too flustered or too many things going on, you just don't have the time, or other things are happening in your life taking you away from your studio? How do you keep those coals burning, those creative coals burning? This is what I'm doing. When I'm not here, which is most of the day, I am chewing on other ways to build my creativity. Like if I see the way the sunlight is hitting a tree, for example, you know, it's a classic one of my examples, but there it is. How would I paint that? Even just noticing it and enjoying it and becoming present with something like that is beautiful, is useful. So, Pixie, I'm really happy about you understanding and practicing and learning about the notan and how vital it is to the whole creative process, and it will only do you good. I'm so happy. Hi, good to see you again. I need to learn to paint without focusing on the outcome. Yes, yes. What would be a way to put that into words? The actual act of painting without focusing on the outcome. You know what I used to do? Because I was very much locked into what did the painting look like and if it turned out successful or not. And what I did years ago, I haven't done this in quite a while, but years ago when I was working with that, of trying to let go of the future outcome of the painting, the possibility of the painting, what I thought the painting should be, and finding out the painting was something quite different than what I thought the painting should be. When I would get stuck in that, because then I would go to my next painting and it would be a failure. It just would not be what I was expecting. And then the next one, and then the next one. And each time it wasn't working, the more I would just kind of push away from painting, and thought, well, maybe I'm just not a good artist. Maybe I just can't do it. You know, mind babble coming in to replace the act of painting, of just painting something. So this is what I did. I would get a small canvas, something I didn't care about, and I would sit down and I would tell the canvas out loud. I would speak to the canvas and say, this is going to be the worst painting I have ever painted. Or I allow myself to paint the worst painting ever painted. So I'm just going to paint, and I don't care what the outcome is. And if I gave myself permission to do that, this isn't going to work for everybody, but for some of you it might. I gave myself permission to paint the worst painting out there. And here's the important thing about doing that practice is that even though you see that the painting's not going well, I would finish it anyways. Don't get stuck on trying to fix things. Just keep on painting until you've painted the painting. Is it an apple on a table? Just finish the dang painting and actually sign it. Even the bad, super floppy paintings, sign them anyways, because they're yours. They are your experience. They are your growth. They are the precursor to the development. Hey, Bev. Hello, my darling. I was thinking about you earlier. How are you? Good to see you. So that's what I would do. And it really helped me. I'm not saying it's going to help you. I can't know that. But it helped me let go of the perfectionism. Like, it had to be a really good painting. It had to look like an apple. It had to be the perfect apple. It had to be, whatever I thought it had to be. And it was a practice which has helped me come to where I am today, being here in Savannah, in this crazy busy life, working 2 jobs, having this focus. Everything is just pulled away from my tiny little studio, from my place of peace and creation. Everything is pulling me away from it. So it helps me when I come back to approach this painting as it is what it is. It will be what it will be. And I no longer care if it's good or not. It has more to do with, because I understand the focus, that I just need to connect. I just need to be here connecting. And if I'm painting bad paintings, they're going to be great little bad paintings that I am going to sign and I'm going to keep as my journal, my visual journal of this time period here in Savannah, and the things that are happening in my life. And Deb was, I think, last year when back on the island, and she did not have, I don't know if you have time now, but you didn't have time back then to paint and to, create. There was so much going on in your life, and we talked a lot about that connection, just staying connected. Is it a little sketch on a napkin? Is it, building the shelves you need in your kitchen? Whatever, right? It's some act of creativity that you are aware of, because everything we do is creative, but how aware are we of the steps we're taking in this creative process, right? So I'm not painting right now, but morning musings are a very, very deep creative act for me. Even making my bed in the morning is a creative act. It's that whole process of connection. It's just being aware of it, becoming present with it, acting on the painting rather than waiting for the outcome or moving towards the outcome of a painting or of making the bed or of doing these morning musings, right? Does that make sense? Do you guys have any questions about that? So today, it was going to be a day off, but a friend, one of my coworkers, has called in. Doing good, great to see you. I think that when we begin to paint, it's all about a serious attempt at a fantastic outcome. Yeah. I will give it a go. Makes a lot of sense. Perfectionism and fear are debilitating. Yes, yes, makes sense. Exactly, exactly. It really is. And here is the bonus. If you can allow yourself to let go of perfectionism in your painting, don't worry about your life, but in your painting, and you begin to accept the failed paintings as fodder, right? Or compost for the beautiful garden that is to come, then you can also, and you will find that it will happen naturally, you will also begin to accept yourself and your own imperfections as whoever you are as a human being, that you're able to begin to view yourself in your life path in the same kind of way, right? So if I'm here and I'm working these 2 jobs and I'm, doing what I can and I still fail, I don't quite make it to where I'm hoping to create the money that we need to build a fishing boat back on the island and to get back up on our feet economically. You guys know the story. So if I fail at it, okay, maybe I won't do what I'm expecting or hoping to do, but I can at least come in and just focus on what I can do right now, today. I picked up somebody else's shift. It was my day off. It'll be an extra boost towards that goal. And I will know when I go back to Greece, with or without having done reached this goal that we're hoping to get to, that I've done my part and I have learned so many things along the way. And I'm going to keep coming back here and sharing this part of my life journey with you as well, in this tiny little studio in the corner of my bedroom. And let's just see where life takes us. So everybody, I do have to get going. This has been wonderful. Thank you for stopping by and listening to all my little blabberings and talks. It's just good to see you all, and I want you to know how grateful I am for your comments and for the connection and for the warmth and love and acceptance that you are all showing me. I deeply appreciate it. So have a wonderful day, my dear. You too. You too. All right. Be inspired. Be creative. Be you. Be open to everything. And let's see. You like my haircut? Thank you. It's a bit wild. It's a bit wild right now, but yeah. Thanks so much. I'll see you all soon. Much love. Bye. Yeah, sure. Okay, user. I don't have a name, so δεν ξέρω ποια είσαι. Ποιος είσαι? Ποια είσαι? Πες μου. Have we talked before? We have, obviously. All right, you guys. I'm still waiting. Maybe she's... So some of these... Παναγιώτα. Γεια σου, Παναγιώτα. Καλημέρα. Καλησπέρα μάλλον. Καλησπέρα. Θα τα πούμε σύντομα. Bye, you guys. I'll see you soon. I'll try and come back in tomorrow. Betty? Panayota Betty? Are you in Greece? Ja, vielleicht ja. See y'all.